What's going on, Blue Crew? It's your boy Big Blue here again with another Borderlands 3 video. Today I'm going to be bringing you a build I call Phasegrasp and Forget. Because Phasegrasp is just so strong in this build, it kills most things before you have a chance to. I do over 1 billion damage on this boss here and one-shot him almost. Let's get into the build, guys, so I can go over it. So as you've seen, that's why I call this build Phasegrasp and Forget. Your Phasegrasp is going to kill most enemies before you even have a chance to shoot. Don't get me wrong, you definitely have to shoot with this build. That's why I'm using the Flipper. Flipper is an extraordinary gun when it comes to doing just great splash damage and great damage overall, just like most of the weapons that came from the new DLC. I really love the synergy in this build. I'm not sure which YouTuber it was who found out about the revelation skill and how that scales with action skill damage, but that just made builds be able to be so much more diverse because of that one skill, and I really like it. So the main thing about this build is I actually made it for the Guardian takedown. It's mostly shock with some incinerary. You could switch the incinerary to corrosive, but it's not much incinerary, honestly. That's why it seems like I'm having a hard time killing these guys. But it still doesn't take me much to do it, honestly. Even that guy that I left over there, that orb just went over there and it destroyed him before I even had a chance to come back to him. Main thing is keep moving, and the more you move, the more damage you're going to do. Like you see there, 200 million. One of the reasons that you see me moving so fast also in these clips is going to be because I do have Speed Demon on also, along with the driver. Those two together are just a crazy combination in movement speed. But even if you're not moving like you see me when I killed that boss a second ago, it really doesn't matter. You're still gonna kill most things. If you do have a corrosive flipper, it'd probably work a lot better for the Guardian takedown. I don't have one in here. I have a cryo one and an incinerary one. I have plenty of shock ones, but we'll go over the build later so you can actually see exactly what I use. This is the perfect time for me to talk about this, actually. One thing, you are not immortal in this build. Yes, you do a lot of damage, and I have a lot of sustainment in this tree. I have damage reduction, but you still take hits, so you got to make sure that you are firing to keep your health up. And it helps you just survive and do damage down them faster. The faster you kill them, the faster you stay alive. Plus you have damage reduction and everything else after using your action skill. What happened here on that guy that was floating there, he got connected to one of the anointed enemies I killed, and that's why it really messed me up there for a second. There's nothing I can do about it, but hey, with the damage that you do, you'll be able to get up just fine if you do go down. The main modifier I will tell you to have is going, like I said earlier, it's going to be Speed Demon. Very important to keeping this build mobile and moving. Not that you need it, because I do have the 3 points in mindfulness from my class mod, but it just helps. Also, thank you guys for all the support. I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, July 5th, but hey, I'm happy with it happening. I think it happened on the 11th. Thank you guys so much for that. It means so much to me for you guys to support me like that. Nowhere else for us to go but up from here, guys. I honestly don't know what to say. I'm almost speechless. It was and it happened at a really weird time. So my daughter, she actually got sick and we had to take her to a children's hospital. And I was in a hotel and I just happened to check and I had 1,000 subscribers. It was a really bittersweet moment for me. But thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and kill this boss so I can show you that whole clip so you see exactly what happened. Like I said, does fine when it comes to shields. I understand this is not the takedown, but it shows you that it can handle bosses. Reason I can't one-shot him yet is because there is no enemies around. That's like the main, like I said, my main source of damage is those enemies that spawn constantly. Enemy spawned, and boom, he's down. If you've ever done this, you know he comes back. And this is where you've seen that clip from the beginning of the video. This is where it happened. I just happened to hop up here, grab him, and I didn't shoot him once. I just grabbed him and all that happened. Alright guys, let's go over the build. So, as you can see, I have a lot of flippers on. I really like this gun. I think this gun is phenomenal for the build that I was doing. I think most of these are shock and incendiary. I do have one that is corrosive, which helps quite a bit when I'm fighting that boss at the end of that proving grounds. Different anointments because I was trying different things out. Turns out the best one to do the most damage with that grasp is going to be the 300 anointment. But if you don't have the 300 anointment, which you should after this because of the save file, this is also another really good one for that extra incendiary damage that I was using just to kill those mobs in there. But using it in the Guardian Takedown for this build, I would go with this one. Or go with this one for the extra shock damage. This proprietary license, I don't really have a reason for using this, but I really like the gun, that's why I have it on. You will never see me use it in this build in the video. I'm using an enhanced, oh god, a shock version with a shock resistance. If you have like this same one that is incendiary, really good switch out. Didn't have to switch it out when I was fighting incendiary enemies at all because I did so much elemental damage, it just kind of took over everything else. So the surge, it's not important, honestly. The surge doesn't matter, it's just the action skill that I have this for. Because I'm going mostly shock and incendiary for the damage. It's my main source of damage for this build. On my elemental projector victory rush, I have incendiary, shock, and area of effect damage to really increase that damage overall. Using the spiritual driver just because I'll be moving a lot, so it'll help me get more damage out. It has splash damage, weapon damage, and SMG damage. I will also have a radiation one in here if you want to try something with the radiation. A couple of different things in here for you to try out. Alright, going over the build in the brawl tree. 2 points in the root to rise, 3 in the personal space. I have 3 in Samsara. So the 3 I have in Samsara, they don't seem like they're that important, but they actually help quite a bit because you get that extra gun damage and that health regeneration, which is part of that my survivability in this build. Because I'm going to be killing most enemies with just my grasp, honestly. So this is going to give me that extra damage boost, plus it's going to give me that life regen. Helping hands for all the damage reduction that I do get. And mindfulness, 3 points in there. Could go all the way up to 6, but I didn't see the point because I'm going to be using, because I am using Speed Demon. So there's no point, I get that extra speed from that. Going over to the Mythical Assault. Do harm, 5 points, 1 point in the fast hands, transcend for 3, restless for 5. I have 1 in ascendant. I always have 3 and 3 in wrath and laid bare. From rest, because I am using a flipper and it's a charge weapon, you only ever need 1 point in remnant. As you see, most of the enemies that I do the crazy damage to, and like you've seen in the beginning of the video when I one-shot that boss, it was all because of that remnant orb and all the overkill damage. So Avatar is important to this build because you're going to need to be able to cast as many times as possible. So that's why this is nice. And last but not least, in the Fist of Elements tree, 5 in the Anima, steady hands for 3, 1 into infusion, 1 into wildfire. So this wildfire one, it was just because I needed to go down farther in the tree. If you want to fit another one into infusion, you can, but I feel like it works better this way. I have Tempest for 5 points for that extra elemental damage. I have Dread for 1. I have Deep Well for 1 because I am using elemental weapons. And so another thing about Indiscriminate, I don't know if you guys know this, but Indiscriminate does scale with Mayhem 10 and action skill damage. That's why I have 3 points in here, and you can ricochet those shots with the flipper. So if I Phasegrasp and somebody doesn't die, and there's other enemies that are too far away, it'll ricochet and it does kill them sometimes. It's kind of wonky, but it helps in the right situations. It's very situational. You could change these points somewhere else if you really wanted to. Probably add those 3 points in here into your sustainment just to give you that extra life steal. Not that you need it. On Mayhem 10, you do so much damage, it doesn't really matter. My actual equip skills is going to be Ties That Bind. Also going to be Remnant. So, I don't know which YouTuber found this, but, excuse me, Revelation. A Revelation scales with action skill damage also, and that Nova is how I do all that insane damage that you guys see. Revelation is crazy now that they have scaled that action skill damage. And when you see me fighting those guys, the only things that I changed was this to fire, and I changed the weapon I was using from this one to this one. That's the only differences I did. I didn't change any of these other things. There was no need to. That is the build, guys. Do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for helping me get to 1,000 again. Blue Crew, as always, stay medicated, stay elevated. To the next video. Peace.